Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the terrible 10 people who kept Caitlin Clark off the U.S. Olympic team. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do. So there are 6 members in the U.S. Olympic Committee, Rob. There's also the coach, who obviously has some say. And there's 3 players that I'm going to put in there with them. I can't prove it, but I'm going to add them to the terrible 10, Rob. And here are the committee members that took place. Now, the head of the committee is a former player of the year and went to Connecticut, Jennifer Rosati. And then there's also Dawn Staley, as you know, is a South Carolina coach and a former great player. LSU assistant, Simone Augusta. She's also a former great player. Old Dominion coach, Delisha Milton-Jones. WNBA head of league operations, Bethany Donovan. And Dan Panover, general manager of the Women's National Basketball Association's Atlanta Dream. All right, so those are the 6 people in the committee who theoretically had the final say. Also, the coach is Cheryl Reeve. She gave her input into the committee, even though technically she has no say whatsoever in terms of the final decision. She can't make the decision herself. But as we know, Gino kept Candace Parker off the team in 2016 because they hated each other. And she was obviously deserved to be on the team. So we know a coach can keep someone off the team. We also know that Cheryl Reeve hates Caitlin Clark for no reason, for no good reason, let's say, because she's jealous of the attention Caitlin Clark gets. All right. We don't know whether she doesn't like the fact that she's not a lesbian. I don't know. I don't know Cheryl Reeve's a lesbian.
Yeah, I don't want to get into her mind. Yeah.
But we know that. Now, Rob, so those 7 people obviously had a significant impact on Caitlin Clark not being on the team, and no one can deny that. And we know the only reason she was kept off the team is she was going to get too much attention. That's really the reason. All right, so we know that.
Right.
Now, Donna Taurasi shouldn't be on the team, as we also know, because she wasn't good enough. But she's on the teams because they feel sorry for her because she wants to get her 6th gold medal or whatever. Got veteran leadership, which they don't need because they got an old team to begin with between the ages of 26 and 33, and they all 7 of them have Olympic experience. So that's silly.
Right.
So we know that. Okay.
Right.
We also know the 2 best players in the league are Brianna Stewart and A'ja Wilson. And we also know they don't like Caitlin Clark, judging from the comments they made.
Right.
We also know they hate the fact that she gets a lot of attention. And Brianna Stewart's a lesbian. A'ja Wilson, as far as I know, is not, but she's black. I don't have any. I don't know if that has a lot to do with it, but we know A'ja Wilson's comment about the fact that Caitlin Clark's whiteness was a huge difference. So she said that huge.
Yeah, a huge difference.
So we know
major difference.
So that's 10 people. I don't think the other 9 players in the team had enough veteran standing on the team to influence whether or not Caitlin Clark could be on the team. And none of them had said anything to the extent that Donna Taurasi has said, Brianna Stewart, and A'ja Wilson has said negatively about Caitlin Clark. So I don't think they had anything to do with it. If they did, it was very slight. That's my take, Rob. I think those 10 people kept Caitlin Clark off the team, and for the wrong reason.
Oh, of course. But Mark, so one of the committee members had this eye-opening revelation about Caitlin Clark, and she was interviewed during a halftime of the men's game. And Dawn Staley, she said, "Oh yeah," and she didn't just say it. Me, I watched her body movement, and I watched how excited she was talking about it. She was like, "Oh yeah." I think that she should have been on the team, and she was going on, and just her movement let me know that you messed up, and now you're backpedaling, and now you're trying to make it seem like you're trying to cover your butt.
Rob, I think everybody knows that Dawn Staley, who was the coach the last time, and Jennifer Rosati are the 2 people that had the most influence on the decision, because those are the veteran leadership they had. So Dawn Staley knows, since she's one of the 2 people that had the most influence, she's one of the 2 people that are going to get the most criticism. So she went on NBC and interviewed to try to do some damage control.
Right.
and it didn't work. No one bought her explanation.
No.
Everybody knew that Caitlin Clark should have been on the team and was good enough at the time. And they've always added a young player. We've gone through this a million times.
Yeah.
So I think Dawn Staley was still bitter about the fact that Caitlin Clark beat her when your team was undefeated in the semis of the NCAA tournament 16 months ago. And then also Caitlin Clark didn't go to Connecticut or South Carolina, so they didn't add a player like they had plenty of times in the past. But Rob, I think Dawn Staley has a good reputation, and she's a great coach, and she's got a dominant situation right now in South Carolina. She almost won 3 national championships in a row. If it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, she would have.
Yeah, it wasn't for Caitlin Clark.
But I think her reputation took a hit with this, Rob, because it looks petty.
Well, it's totally petty. I mean, I agree with you on that point. I mean, she doesn't really care. And the point is, she doesn't really care. I mean, yeah, it's going to take a hit mark, but I don't think she really cares. I mean, it already has. But since she is in the position that she's in, there's not going to be that much of a backlash where people will not go to South Carolina games, or she'll be off the committee. It's just a little, for her, it's a little blip for her as far as a little criticism towards her. Because she says, well, wait a minute. I did say that she should have been on the team, though.
Jennifer Zadi and Dawn Staley's reputations both took a hit. And I'm thinking to myself, Rob, they knew that there was going to be an uproar. And they knew it was also the wrong thing not to put her on the team. And they did it anyway. That just tells me they're not good people.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they don't care, Rob. All they cared about was their own little sorority they wanted to keep together.
Yeah, and it just is very. And I don't know how the guy voted. I don't know, but I mean, I want to know what was the breakdown of who was for and against, Caitlin Clark.
That's interesting, Rob. I know the other 3 women reportedly are Black women who are lesbians. So there's Dawn Staley, there's Jennifer Zadi, there's a man, and then there's 3 Black lesbian women. And the league is made up predominantly, and the team is made up predominantly of lesbians and Black women.
Yeah. So, I mean, so their pettiness and hatred carried over, and they think that they showed Caitlin Clark, and they showed everybody else who was a fan of Caitlin Clark. We're not going to. That's happened. Like I said, that's happened to me when I was playing basketball with a coach. The fans were yelling for me to come to the game, and he comes down to me and he says, "I'm not putting you in the game just because they're saying your name." Like, oh, okay. Then he ended up putting me in the game anyway.
Maybe he deserved to be in the game. I think Diana Taurasi's reputation as a person was already terrible anyways. But Brianna Stewart, were their snide comments about Caitlin Clark, and Asia Wilson's comments about Caitlin Clark, I think their reputation took a hit too. Because they essentially didn't want her on the team because they were afraid they weren't going to get the publicity that they wanted.
All this is coming back to, like we said, I think karma, and that is. Karma's all coming back on everyone that did that. It tells on the games. It's going to tell during the season. And even when Stewart has a little 3-on-3 league and Clark's not going to be in there, she'll lose money on that. So, yeah, that's okay. You can treat people bad, but eventually it catches up to you.
Well, I mean, none of the new fans like those 3 individuals, and 2 of them still have a pretty long career left ahead of them. They're going to be disliked by a significant amount of fans for the rest of their career, because a lot of the new fans are Caitlin Clark fans. Right. They didn't grow this organically like they think they did. It was only growing a little bit. Almost the entire growth this year is Caitlin Clark and a little bit of Angel Reese. That's what happened. So they're not rooting for them. They're rooting against them for the rest of their careers.
And what's really weird, Mark, is that when a new crop of players come in, like Paige and Juju Watkins, they're not going to get the same treatment that Caitlin Clark has been getting.
Oh, no. Paige went to UConn. She's protected.
She's already in.
She's overly woke. You saw her speech at the ESPY Awards.
Yeah, she's in. She's already in.
She's into the sorority already, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that's my terrible 10. You can dispute that if you want, but it looks to me like those are the 10 people that kept her off the team. And Diana Taurasi's other reason, which I mentioned in another video, was this is her 6th gold medal, and she knows that if Caitlin Clark gets a gold medal, she could also get 6 gold medals because they're the exact same age as when she got her first medal. So if she plays to 42, she could get 6 gold medals too, and then Diana Taurasi wouldn't have the record anymore. Now Caitlin Clark, unless she plays to 46, has really no chance of getting that. And Diana Taurasi knows that.
Right.
So she wants the record or two.
All these little factors coming in, Mark. All these little factors.
So this is my 9 witches and 1 witch that kept Caitlin Clark off the team, and I think it's disgusting. I'll be honest. And I've lost all respect for all of them. Let us know what you think. Do you think I'm being fair? Do you think I chose the right 10 people that kept Caitlin Clark off the team? Do you think it was fair to keep her off the team? If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell when you do. And we're going to go live 2 to 5 today. And we'll be covering a lot of swimming events and stuff like that. Rob will be there Thursday and Friday. We're doing it every day in the Olympics on NBC, whatever they're covering, as long as it's not the U.S. women's team. And we'll do it through August 10th on a Saturday. Our normal live show is 6 to 8 Eastern time on Mondays, except for major holidays, and except for next Monday because we'll be covering the Olympics. All right, and feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments down below about this topic. And if you want to donate to our channel, there's super chats down below and also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
All right, peace out.